Well, spring and summer is when everybody wants to freshen up their look. And if you've been considering a medical spa to have a little work along the lines of Botox or filler, you'd probably love to know how much is it really going to cost to get the results you want? How long will the results last? We asked Erica Chowning, an APRN and the owner of Vibrant Med in Crestwood, to give us the true details. Because when you look at websites, they may only give you the price per unit, but have no idea of how many units you need. I'm so glad you're here. I have heard and seen horror stories. I have friends who are super fans, and I think that I'm like a lot of women who haven't ventured this way. I know nothing and want you to tell the real story.
And I'm so glad to be here to do that. Because
So-
there are common misconceptions with all of the stuff in the beauty and aesthetics industry.
Okay,
And we always see the little things that, the 1%, you know, that might happen, but that's what gets blown out
Absolutely.
of proportion. And most of the time it goes really well. And chances are there are a lot of people that you know that are getting it done and you don't even know they're doing it. Because if it's done right,
You're
that's the way
exactly
to do
right
it.
about that. So first things first, I mean, what does it really cost?
So that's going to be, like we talked about, it's per unit.
Okay.
Most of the time when we're talking about Botox in the Louisville area, most places are $11 to $14 per unit. We are still at 11 right now. What does that mean to people though?
It
Because
doesn't-
again, that's
it
like,
doesn't
I don't
mean
know what that
anything,
means.
right?
Exactly. So if it's typically per area. So if you have a specific area, crow's feet, most people are looking at around 24 units. So you're, you know, around that $250 range if you want to treat your crow's feet. If we want to treat here, this area, we're looking at, for most people, 16 to 20 units. So figure on a couple $100s for here. Forehead is the lightest area to treat actually, and you can treat the most cost effectively, and that's going to be a couple $100s. You're looking at, you know, up to 20 units, but most of the time it's less than that.
And we've got some before and after photos that I'd like for us to show, and also talk about how long that they last. If we can go ahead and pull those up on the screen. Wow.
Yes, this was a girl who,
That's a
She
dramatic
was-
difference.
early 30s actually.
Okay.
And that's where she was really starting to show her age, and everything else was beautiful on her. So we were able to take really about 12 units of Botox and make a huge difference. So, you know, for less than $150, we saw a dramatic smoothing in her forehead.
So how long though will that last, and how often is she going to
the
need?
average is about every 3 months, 3 to 4 months.
And do you know like that it's coming back? I mean, do you start to see the
Yes.
signs? You start
And
to see them?
actually, that's what I tell people. Get in here before the lines
Before.
are like they are at
Okay.
the top. Get in here when you start seeing the muscle movement again.
Yes.
But before it's severe, because if we treat the muscle when it's at its still somewhat treated,
Okay.
but before it gets to the extreme, then we're staying in maintenance mode and preventive mode, because there's prevention as well, which
Right.
people don't think about. We're treating the lines, but we're also preventing them from getting worse.
Okay, I think we have another before and after. I love before and after.
So that's the scowl, that's the 11s or the angry face, or there are a lot of things people call that. But this is a common thing that people come to me and they say, I look angry all the time. I'm not an angry person. And we can treat this and make people look happier.
I mean, it's almost like looking at a different person.
Right, exactly.
So-
and even for occupation, you know, some people say, I have to get this done for my occupation because I don't want to look angry.
I keep scaring people.
Yes.
Yes. Now, what does it feel like?
When you come to get it done, the anxiety before is the worst part.
Okay.
Getting it done, everybody's always like, oh, that's all. So it's tiny little insulin needles that we distribute. Usually it's, like for example, on a crow's feet, we're going to,
Right.
for most people, it's going to be about 3 pricks.
And okay, another, you tell me, is this a misconception or not? If I get Botox around here, am I ever going to be able to move my eyebrows again?
Yes. When it's done right, you can still move. You know, my face has toxin. I can still smile. I can still
I mean, you're
raise my
moving your
brows.
eyebrows.
Yes.
Okay,
It's
so
just, the key is to soften
Okay.
without being frozen. That's the key.
all right, I'm going to turn the mirror on myself. I'm going to be a little brave today. What would you do?
Okay, so I'm actually going to turn it back on you a little bit,
Okay.
because in all my consultations, I like to know what bothers people the most, because you're the one that has to look in the mirror every day. And if you have something that really stands out to you, every time you look in the mirror, that's the first thing your eye is going to gravitate toward. So I would first say, What bothers you the most when you look at
I mean,
yourself?
and I think I'm one of those who I'm just not a fixer so much. I don't look and go, oh.
Great.
But I am a little mystified that, I mean, I'm 44 years old and I've got these little lines right here that all of a sudden are cropping up. And I mean, can you fix fine
Yes.
lines like that?
And I'm a little mystified that you're 44 years old and look this great.
Now we're best friends.
But it's small things like that, those little tweaks, so easy to
So
do.
then you
We can
can't.
fix that little, like, raise
Yeah,
your brows
you see
up.
it. You see
The
it. That's
little-
my stress line.
stress line.
That's what I call them. Those are my stress lines
That's
right
an
there.
easy fix. We can treat you with about 10 units of Botox across your forehead without keeping it nice and high so we don't drop the brow. And smooth that. Your makeup will go on more smoothly. You will just feel better when you wake up every
Okay.
day about yourself without taking away you. You're
And I
still
can
going to
still
look
move
like
my
you.
eyebrows.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you so much. This has
Thank
been so
you.
informative. If you have more questions or if you want to set up an appointment, you can call Vibrant Med at 502-618-0995. They're located in Crestwood. You can also find them online at vibrantmed.com.